this week we got into the golden calf. Moses is leading, it takes responsibility for what happened. God says, you know what? For what these people have done, I'm going to wipe them out. Moses said, no, you won't. And if you do, write me out of your book. So why is Moses taking such responsibility for what the Jews did when he had nothing to do with it? It's because he was the leader. This is what leaders do. They take responsibility for the actions of the people who follow them. You see this throughout. A great leader takes responsibility, even when you look at it and he has nothing to do with it. He's still responsible. In 1974, we had the Agronaut Commission to look at who was at fault for the failures of the Yom Kippur War. They exonerated Golda Meir. She was prime minister, they exonerated her, saying that according to the information she received at the time, she was not guilty of any malfeasance. She still took responsibility because she was prime minister. And therefore, she said, everything comes to me. We all know the famous statement by Truman that on his desk was a statement, the buck stops here. I'm responsible. This is what leadership is about, that you take responsibility even if everybody says it's not your fault. You're the leader. A friend of mine recently had a situation and like he and I were talking about it, and he said, I wasn't there, I didn't have anything. Why am I the one now on the hot seat? I said, because you're the leader of that group. You became the leader when it was discovered of a certain issue. Uh, this is something for us to remember, that real leadership means you take responsibility. The Torah basically says that we're free, but when we're free, we are responsible for our actions and for the actions of those whom we are in charge of. If you're a parent, you're responsible for the actions of your children. If you're, in other words, you're head of the family, you're responsible for how the family behaves. If something happens in this minyan that is not right, Rabbi Schwartz doesn't call up everybody in the minyan. He calls me up because I'm responsible. I have to take that responsibility seriously. In the next minyan, whoever's the gabbai, they're responsible. This is something very important that the Torah is getting across, that with leadership comes responsibility. And therefore, we have to be very careful of how we lead. Something to think about.